Hi, everybody. Welcome to my show, Angel Guidance by Lisa. And let me introduce myself. I am a healer and I practice Reiki. And I am also an evidential medium, meaning I do speak with those who have crossed over to the other side. And I'm also psychic and intuitive. And I welcome you here today. I also am a teacher of all things spirit. And I love to talk about anything that's going to help you on your path because we're placed here in this lifetime to learn, to grow, and to make strides forward. We're not placed here, we have not chosen to come here to go backwards. You know, a lot of people get stuck this time of year because everyone around them seems to be having a good time, and maybe something happened during this time of year in the past that makes them sad or upset. Maybe someone passed away around Christmas time or the holidays, and they just don't want to have fun at this time of year. Or perhaps their Christmases or holidays when they were children weren't the best. They didn't get what they wanted, or something happened that didn't make them happy. And that happens. There are people like that. And then there are people who celebrate the holidays and go all out and everything's decorated and it's always a party. You know what? And that's fine too. But I just want you to be aware of those who maybe aren't having the best time this year and reach out to them. Just say hello, let them know you're thinking about them. You know, sometimes people don't even get a holiday card or a Christmas card. And so if you know of such a person, just a phone call or even a note would be so meaningful and beneficial to them. And so I wanted to speak to you today about prosperity and what that means. And the word prosperity brings some things to mind. It brings to mind, for some people, money, success, fame, and wealth. It also, for me, brings to mind health and happiness and having exactly what you need in life when you need it. And prosperity is really all of those things. Prosperity is a term that has been used for many years, and it's a term that describes a state of being that is abundant, that is full of everything that we need and want in life. And when I say prosperity, I also mean to tell you that it is a mindset, meaning the mind and what we think also affects our physical world and what we get out of life. So if we have a prosperous mindset, that means when we look at the world, when we look at opportunities and things that are happening to us, we're looking at it from the perspective of the glass being half full, not half empty. So when we have a prosperous mindset or outlook, we see opportunities in our life. We see things happening for our benefit, for our favor. We see things happening that can help us move forward in life with ease and flow. And I say all this to you because I want you to know you have that power to have the life that you want. You have that power to move forward in life with an open, loving heart, with the opportunity to achieve what your goals are, and you have the opportunity to flow effortlessly from one day to another. Some of you are saying, no way, Lisa, that can't be me because I have all these problems and this happened and I lost my job and I broke up with my boyfriend and my kids aren't treating me nice. And I hear you. We all go through those times. But know this, those times are not permanent. Those are a temporary situation. And the way we get out of those temporary situations is to frame them differently, view them differently, look at them from a different perspective. And I'll tell you this, I guarantee you this, when you start looking at these obstacles that you have in life from a way to move through them as a as them serving for your benefit, that you will start to be guided as to how to move through these obstacles and how to have a better life and to move through it. So I just want you to understand that you have more power than you realize. Despite what's going on in the outer world, in our physical world, know this: these are just tests. These are just little steps along our path that we can either get stuck in like a rut, or we can move through easily and effortlessly. So think about your life from the view of prosperity. How do you get to be prosperous today? How do things work for your favor today? You have the opportunity to bring in, to call in all good things energetically. You, my friends, are beings of light. You, my friends, are energy. And that energy is magnetic and it can pull in whatever you want. So when you go into your holiday parties or gatherings with family next week and you're thinking about some people that maybe you don't want to see, try to send blessings ahead of you. Try to bless those people who may be the ones who get on your last nerve, and send them love, send them healing, and see if they don't treat you a little differently. Don't go into it resistant, angry, upset. Move into these family parties with an open heart, with love, with gladness and gratefulness that you are alive, that you have the blessing to have a family or to be invited somewhere, or that you're just walking upright and breathing. I just hope everyone has a wonderful holiday next week, and I wish all the best for everyone in 2020. All right, so I think we have a caller. Let me see. Looks like we have Teresa in Mineola, New York. Mineola, New York. Okay, thank you. Teresa, hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, how are you today?
Hanging in there.
You're hanging in there? Okay, well, one day at a time, you know. So Teresa, what would you like to know, or what would you like me to help you with today?
Okay, my boyfriend recently passed away November 27th, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
having kind of a tough time with it. And before he passed, he had a stroke and he wasn't able to know who people were. And I just want to know, does he realize that I was sending people to visit him and to make sure that he was okay? And just things happened. I don't know what happened exactly. I really don't. Things should have been a lot
Mm-hmm.
easier, and he just had a tough time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So this was just an unexpected thing for this to happen, and it left you in some kind of shock. Um, okay, let me see what I can do. Hmm. I feel like, let me see if I can connect with him. I feel like in life, before this occurred, I feel like he would have been a casual person. Like I would see him like in a t-shirt. I would see him just sort of relaxed. Maybe even, I don't know, this t-shirt, this, what I've seen him in just seems very basic and not formal. Would you understand that about him?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, all right, thank you. Um, I, All right. Do you understand a letter M? Letter M is in Mark, or letter M name connected with him or with his connected to you, related to him?
Connected with him, a friend.
Okay. All right. So I'm hearing that as well. Would this been a close friend to him?
He belonged to
Would
a
he?
lodge called the Odd Fellows,
Okay.
and he did have a friend named
Oh,
Mark that was trying to find
Mark.
out what was going on and what happened to him.
Okay. So would have I feel like that. Okay. So Mark would have been a person who knew of his passing and knew of, was he there at the passing as well? Or
No.
you know, okay, all right. So Mark is someone he would know. Okay, let me see what else here. I feel like there's a ring connected with this man as well, with your boyfriend or with Mark, like a ring, like he would wear a ring, or would have been a ring that was a commemorative ring or something connected with him. Would you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
It's
all
part
right,
of the
thank you.
lodge. They had their large membership was 3 rings, and my boyfriend kept a ring on his finger all the time that had the 3 rings from the lodge.
Okay, thank you. So what he's doing for me is he's just giving me some information so you know that we are connected, okay, and so that he's here. So let me talk to him for a moment and see. Yeah, he's referencing his passing. He's referencing his time when he was ill, when he was not able to communicate. And I feel like for some of this time, he's telling me he was like in both worlds. Like he was here in the physical world, and he was also making his transition. Like he was starting to actually see people on the other side coming to meet him. Would you understand that he sort of seemed like he was in these two places during his illness or during his transition time?
Yes, he was calling out his mother constantly. When one of my friends went to
Okay.
visit him, he kept saying, Mommy. And she said, I'm
Okay.
not your mommy. And he just kept saying that name over and over again.
Okay. All right. So know that so he's confirming that whom he was reaching out to was there to greet him, that he did not cross alone. Okay. He was greeted, and it sounds like his mother was greeting him there. And so during this time, he's making me feel like his tongue was swollen, like big, like he couldn't speak. It was just very, like there was this lack of communication. But know this, on this other side of him, he could understand what was going on, but he couldn't tell you what he was thinking. All right. It was like one half of his being, how you communicated with him, he just couldn't do it anymore. Now he could definitely hear you, and even if you didn't notice that he heard you, all right? And I feel like you spoke with him, you told him you loved him, there were these things that you mentioned to him, just to him, and I feel like there is this loss, like you felt like there is no closure between the two of you because he couldn't communicate back to you. But know that he heard you. He heard these things you were saying to him, and he wants to let you know that he truly values your time with him. I feel like, were you holding his hand? I feel like you were holding his hand at the very end, like it was like you would just sit and hold his hand, like you would be with him. Would you understand that, like just being close to him?
No, because I wasn't able to go see him.
Okay. Well, there's something, it was either in the real world where this was happening, or there was something that was connected to, like, I feel like there was a connection with the hand holding. I don't know if you felt that, if you felt when he passed, if it felt it in a dream, but I feel like there's this connection between you two that was not broken, even though you weren't there at his passing. I feel like it was not broken. Like this connection was not, even though you feel like you weren't there and you said you weren't, there's this connection that was still bringing you two together. Like it feels like you would have known, and on some level of his passing, like when he passed, you may have felt it. You may have felt it in your heart, in your stomach. It just feels like there's this notice of that. Would you understand that? Like, would you know that? Did you have a feeling about that when he passed?
No, I didn't. I found out on Facebook by accident.
Mm-hmm. So would you understand a dream of him coming to you? Because it feels like there is some way he connected with you even though you weren't together. And it was more than Facebook. It was it was a way for him to reach out that maybe was very subtle to you, but it felt like there was this connection either in a dream or in some kind of, you know how we daydream and just sort of go off in our thoughts. I feel like he was trying to reach out to you during this time.
Possibly. I'm not sure about that.
Okay. So would you tell me your question again? You wanted to know exactly what again?
If he realized that I was sending people to visit him in the hospital to check on him to make sure that he was all right, because his family was kind of trying to isolate him.
Yes. Well, so when he's showing me these people, when he's showing me the hand holding, would they have done that for you to him? Like, would they have come in and tried to give him comfort in that way? It just feels like there's that connection. I do feel like he was aware of this, and the fact that he was able to be in both worlds and understand that there were people coming in, but not be able to communicate with them. And this is what he's telling me. He understands that they were there. I think that's where the hand holding is coming in here, because there's someone you must have known who would have come in and connected with him directly. And maybe you can ask those people, did this happen? Or, would you remember doing that with him? Because I feel like that is...
Yeah, one of the girls that went to visit him, it's an old friend of his that he's known for a long, long time. She said that she did hold his hand and kept saying, it's me, and she'd give her name.
Okay. All right.
But she said that he was just like out of it. He just didn't understand, and he just kept calling his mother,
Yes, right. So understand this: the hand holding information is his confirmation to you that he understood that they were here, they were there with him to give him comfort, that he was aware of their presence, and that's how he's telling you this, that communication, he understood that, and he understood that he was leaving, and this was his opportunity today to let you know that he was aware of that by demonstrating to you that he understood because of that connection, that actual physical connection that this friend made with him through holding his hand. Okay? So know that he is affirming that for you. All right, and any kind of isolation you felt being away from him, understand that he knows about that, and he doesn't hold you responsible for that. He's just allowing you to understand that it was just something he knew was not something you could not control. All right? Okay. So do you understand now that that's what he meant by that the hand-holding was for you to understand that he understood that you sent people and there were people there for him. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Teresa. I really appreciate being able to connect with him. And please let his friend Mark know that they came through as well, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Teresa. Have a blessed day. Thank you. Okay, so our next caller is Stephanie in Wrexham, England. Hi, Stephanie.
Hello, you okay?
Hi, how are you?
Can you hear me? I'm okay, thanks. Just in bed.
What can I help you with today?
Just a reading about love, if that's okay.
One more time, please.
A reading on love, if that's okay.
A reading on love, you say?
Yeah, please, or anything.
On anything? Okay. All right. I'm going to just take a few moments and tune in to your energy and see what comes up. Just give me one moment. Thank you. All right. So I'm just going to draw a couple cards and see
Yeah.
what my guides are telling me. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. It looks like we have, it looks like there's someone romantically that you're interested in. And it looks like this would be someone who would be an honorable person, who would be mature. And there's also, you're a little concerned about making a decision about this circumstance, about this person. So know that you can decide later. You don't have to make a decision quickly about this. As far as this romantic interest goes, do you have a romantic interest right now?
I do, yeah.
Okay. Are you feeling like you
I
need to decide about something?
Pardon?
Do you feel like you need to make a decision about this romantic interest? Is there something with time or something where you feel like you want to know if you should go forward, or if you are in it, you know, do you need to decide something about this?
Yes. There's currently a guy who I got pregnant with unplanned, and as soon as he found out I was pregnant, he moved on with another girl. But he didn't say, anything was wrong with our relationship. It's just the baby that's come in between us.
I see. I see. Okay. So what it feels like to me is guys are telling me there needs to be a little wait time here. Don't rush into this, to allow this to unfold naturally, to see where it takes you. There's no rush into this. You may feel like, okay, so sometimes we see what we want to see, in especially a romantic person, someone we're interested in romantically. So we see what we want to have in our lives. And a lot of times we try to fit people into our vision of what we really want, okay? And it feels like this gentleman is not quite there yet to match up to what you want. Now, I'm not saying this is not going to happen. It feels like this has a potential to happen, but it also feels like this gentleman needs to work through some of this he's going through now. He needs to mature a little bit in this department, okay? So what I would say is give yourself a little space. In other words, don't pursue him as much as you may want to. Sort of give him a little space. Would you understand that?
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do.
Okay, okay. Let me see what else I can find. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So what the guys are telling me is this relationship, or this thing you want, this relationship you want, does have the opportunity to unfold. It does have the opportunity to move forward, but once again, you need to give it space. So that message keeps coming up. It's when you make a commitment to someone, you have to be sure all the ducks are lined up in a row, right? You want to be sure everything is going to go the same direction between both of you, okay? And so in order to have that happen, sometimes people need a little time to catch up. You may be a little more mature than he is. Would you understand that?
Yeah, I'm totally more mature than he is, but it's the fact that he's gone to another girl, do you know what I mean, in the process.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like there's some cold feet with him. Do you understand what I mean by that? Like he's not quite sure. You come across to him as being someone who he respects and admires, but that also scares him a little bit, all right? Because he wants there's this thing with him where he feels like he may not even measure up to you, to what your expectations are. But if you give him a little time to let his maturity evolve, to let him sort of figure out what he doesn't want. And I feel like this other person will be someone, any interest he has will be someone he doesn't want. And he's going to have to figure that out himself, okay? You can't convince him of that, right? You have to allow that to unfold. And I'll tell you what, the more you give him space and the more you just sort of step back, the more interesting you become to him, okay? Because you're not just, a lot of ladies who he's been interested in before will just kind of fall all over him, and he's used to that. So you want to give him that space for you too, all right? He's going to have to earn your respect, okay? Does that sound right to you?
Yeah. Oh, you make me emotional.
Okay. I would say, Stephanie, by next summer, there will be some changes in this relationship, all right? Look for it next summer. Okay, dear?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Stephanie, it's been very nice to speak with you today. I hope you have a wonderful wonderful evening. And
okay, thank
if
you.
you want to reach out, thank you so much. All right, bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. If you'd like to reach out to me, I'm on Facebook at Pure Love Energy. I'm also on Instagram at Angel Guidance by Lisa. I give evidential mediumship readings, psychic readings, and I also give Reiki healing anywhere worldwide. I hope you all have a prosperous holiday season and new year, and I'll see you soon in 2020. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.